Will, love seeing you. Finally, you graced the presence of this television program, which we love to see. It took FanDuel's Futures Day to make it happen, but we're going to start
Yes.
with you and the meanest of the meanest in football, the AFC North. Will, who you taking to win the division?
Steelers. I was listening to Gronk being on. I'm with him. The reason I like the Steelers, I think the Ravens are a better roster. They're a better football team. But when you look at their schedules, the Ravens play nine former playoff teams in their schedule this year. Five contenders, five playoff teams last year in their first 6 weeks. When you look at the Steelers, I think they're going to be much better. Obviously, with Aaron Rodgers, you got DK Metcalf. They got some weapons on the outside. They're going to have a good defense. And when you look at their schedule, they only play about four former playoff teams last year. They're kind of scattered throughout the season on the back half. I like the Steelers setup and positioning a lot better when looking at their schedule. So that is why I am going with the Steelers.
You too, Luan? Wow.
Yeah, I have to agree with Will with all the things he said. And from a personnel standpoint, Aaron Rodgers, when he goes to the Jets, everyone thinks he's going to bring the Jets back to life. Fun fact, no one can bring the Jets back to life. They're dead, they're dying, they're on life support. Now no one's talking about Aaron Rodgers. Everyone, he's kind of going under the radar. This is the perfect time for him to go off DK Metcalf. Or obviously, people are worried about Najee Harris being gone. He's at the Chargers now. But Caleb Johnson, who they drafted out of Iowa, no one talked about him because that kid from Boise State was out there who got drafted by the Raiders. He rushed for a school record of 1,500 yards last year. He's going to be an absolute stud. I think their offense is going to come along in a big way with Arthur Smith. Also, you pay TJ. You get Highsmith back, who had the ankle and the groin last year, who takes a lot of pressure off of TJ, very underrated rusher, and then leadership of Cameron Hayward. I think this is a sneaky team. I think this is a team that can go and do things that no one thinks they can do, and that's win the AFC North.
I mean, is Rodgers in the MVP conversation? I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook right now. He's tied at 23, Taylor, with your boy from Michigan, JJ McCarthy. The odds at plus 7,300. What do you make of that? Long shot.
I think it's a long shot for a reason. I think it's a long shot for a reason. Me personally, it's going to go along with a lot of my picks. I'm leaning on who won it last year, which is Josh Allen. I just think that this is the Bills' year. This is Josh Allen. He kicks it up again. He hits a new level. I think the only person that can unseat him would probably be Joe Burrow. I think he could have won the award last year with Lamar Jackson, but Joe threw for so many yards, so many touchdowns. He would have been in the MVP conversation if his team would have done better from a win-loss standpoint. But my money's going Josh.
Let's go to that. Do you have a pick for MVP, Will?
No, I don't. And now, listen, I'm going to talk every which way out of my mouth here because I've watched quarterback. I love Joe Burrow. If they can figure anything out defensively and protect him for just a little bit, this is the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think he'll continue to do this stuff, building on last year and the years in the past. Joe Burrow's the best player. I like him for the MVP conversation. I also think it's sneaky now. You get Jaden Daniels. Listen, Washington was bottom of the sea when it comes to run defense. If they correct their run defense at all, that's going to help out Jaden Daniels. I think he has a huge year. So I like Joe Burrow or Jaden Daniels.
I like that Trey Hendrickson's back because I don't like you guys picking the Steelers to win the division on this show. Okay, let's go to AFC West. Will, I'm going to go back to you here. Who you taking? Broncos. We've got, let's look at the odds here. Chargers at 310. Who you got?
I got the Broncos. Broncos. I was on Bo Nix early last year. Big time professional. He's got all the intangible stuff. Coached by his dad, playing big time ball down in the South, growing up in high school. Was a big time winner at Oregon. I think him and Sean Payton, that marriage, I think it's going to continue to blossom. Their defense is aggressive. Their defense is really good. I like the Broncos winning the AFC West this year.
AFC West, Taylor?
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I like Harbaugh. I love the fact that it's sitting on Rich Eisen's show a few months ago talking about having dreams of Justin Herbert, how he's got to get him in the Hall of Fame. How do you get a guy in the Hall of Fame as a quarterback? You win Super Bowls, you win MVPs. Their run game, we just talked about this guy who came from the Steelers, Najee Harris. Their defense is going to be even better than they were last year. They are buying into the culture, just like the Michigan Wolverines did with Jim Harbaugh. I think they unseat the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is the first year in 4 years I've gone against the Kansas City Chiefs. Love Patrick Mahomes. Love Travis Kelce, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
However, love them. Love them to death. I just think when you have this many coaches, you got Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid. This is going to be one of the most fun divisions to watch. And I love the idea of chaos. And I think the Chargers are the one to stir it up.
I'm just going to clip this and send it to Patrick and Travis. Just you two picking against the Chiefs. Leave it out. but giving him a shout out. What does the alleged dating between Justin Herbert and Madison Beard do to the Chargers odds on FanDuel Sportsbook, Taylor? Help?
I don't know if it is going to affect the odds. What I will say is shout out NFL football players. It seems like Travis really unlocked a new level for everybody in there. And you got Cardi B and you got Stephon Diggs over there with licky emojis and BBL talk. And now you're talking about guys dating all over the place. Like, football players are sitting in a good spot. We're sitting in a great spot where you're like Pete Carroll's old USC where the Kardashians are ripping around. Like, we got that around the whole entire league right now. It's a good time to be a football player.
Winning on and off the field.
Winning on and off the field.
That's what matters.